So let's continue with noun clauses. Now, as you saw in exercise 410 and 411, this is just a simple review of what we've done so far. We saw that a clause can be in the place of a noun. So any noun role, we can actually put a clause. And because it's in the noun role, it is a noun clause, okay? It's a dependent clause acting as a noun. Now, if we look at 410, and you went through all the answers already, but we saw, I heard what you said. What you said was our direct object. That whole thing is a clause. I saw what you did. Did Nancy remember that you had called? They should eat whatever you have cooked, right? So all of these are noun clauses, right? Anytime someone says something, that's a noun clause, okay? And so on and so forth, all of them. 410 was easy. It was just direct objects. Then on 411, there's only 4 questions. If you look, there's a mix of rules, right? Candy is what he likes. Predicate nominative, predicate noun. So a noun clause here is a predicate. What he likes is candy. What he likes is the subject. And then moving on, I care about what he likes. Okay, about, what kind of word is about? Preposition. So then we have a prepositional phrase. Object of a preposition, which is the noun clause. Because the object of a preposition is a noun job, here we have a noun clause because it's in the same place as the object of the preposition. I care about school, studying. I care about life. I care about God, what have you. Those are all nouns. And so we have a clause there in place of the noun, which makes it a noun clause. You gave what he likes no consideration. So you gave consideration, right? Consideration is our direct object. But you gave what he likes no consideration. So it's not, what he likes is not receiving the object, the action directly, but indirectly. So it's an indirect action. And that should be pretty simple. Now, if we look at 63, if you recall the other noun jobs mentioned earlier in this section, you should have found a noun clause for each job. If you are completely lost, we'll go through it step by step. So let's look. Candy is Joe's favorite food. All right, ask yourself first, what is the subject? Where's the verb? Is, right? Same thing here. Now ask yourself, we have is, what kind of verb is it? You have to know your verbs. Okay, it's an intransitive linking verb, right? If we do our verb test, we know it immediately. It's a verb of being, doesn't have any action. So it's an intransitive linking verb. Intransitive linking verbs have predicate nouns. So if we look, candy is Joe's favorite food. Okay, where's the noun there? Well, predicate noun there. Well, it's food. Green. Joe's favorite, those are adjectives. So we diagram it as such. Easy. Candy is what Joe likes best. That whole thing, what Joe likes best, look at it. It has a subject and it has a verb. Anytime you've got an extra subject and an extra verb, then you need to assume that this is a clause. What kind of clause? Independent or dependent? Okay. Can it stand alone? What Joe likes best? No, it can't. So it must be dependent. Okay, you have 3 options when you have a dependent clause: adverb, adjective, or noun. How do you tell? Is it acting as an adverb? Nope. Is it acting as an adjective? Nope. Is it acting as a noun? Yeah, it's a predicate noun. So we're going to diagram it, right? It gets its own little line. It's just put up by the little hangman here. But you diagram it just like a normal sentence on its own line, hanging above the sentence. Okay, so any noun role, absolutely any noun role, you can put a clause. In the first sentence, a plain old noun is the predicate nominative, but in the second, the whole noun clause is the predicate nominative. Remember that an IL verb is an equals mark, right? So do you remember that? She basically said that you're saying that this thing equals this in some way, some capacity. You know we can say either 2 plus 2 equals 4 or 4 equals 2 plus 2. So rewrite the second sentence to read, what Joe likes best is candy. Okay, so candy is what Joe likes best. That was the first sentence here. Up here. Candy is what Joe likes best. Now we can reverse it. And when we reverse it, all we're doing is switching the subject and the predicate. And that's fairly simple, right? What Joe likes best is candy. And so the noun clause has now become our subject, whereas before it was a predicate. No problem. Not a problem at all. Any clause can be used, okay? Any noun clause can be used in a noun place. Subject, predicate, direct object, indirect object, what have you. Here are two more sentences. Pay attention to George. Pay attention to what he says. Okay. Pause. Try to figure out the second one there. Pay attention to what he says. What role does the noun clause have? There's a noun clause. What is it? Pay attention. What's the subject and verb there, right? You. Pay attention, implied you. To what he says. What kind of word is to? To is a preposition. And so what he says is the object of a preposition. Okay, so we have a prepositional phrase, right? The first sentence, you pay attention to Greg. Second sentence, you pay attention to what he says. The noun clause is an object of a preposition. Same thing, it's a noun role, right? We have a noun role, so all we do is put a little hangman, give it its own line. That's it. Both sentences have an object for the preposition to. The first is the noun Greg. The second is the noun clause. Oops. What he says. Like the other noun clauses, this one has its own elevated platform. Okay. If you got the fourth sentence right, you have probably taken the rest of the day off to celebrate. That was an awkward and unusual construction. You gave what he likes no consideration. So this is in regards to the indirect object, right? So you gave what he likes. That's an indirect object, no consideration. Consideration is the thing being given, but then there's an adverb, right? Which is no, which is telling you that actually there's no consideration being given, right? But the object of giving is consideration. The indirect object, who that object is being given to, is actually a noun clause. What he likes is the indirect object. So you diagram it just like you normally would an indirect object, right? Where do we put indirect objects? We do a little X, so it almost looks like a prepositional phrase, and then we put the noun here. So you're just putting a clause here. All you need to know for noun clauses, you really just need to know the noun roles. If you know the noun roles, you see a clause and it's in a noun role, in a noun position, then it's a noun clause. Okay, it's also not going to begin with a subordinating conjunction, otherwise it's an adverb clause, and it's not going to have a relative pronoun. That's a part of the sentence. Okay. If you have been shown noun clauses use subjects, predicate, nominatives, direct objects, objects of prepositions, and indirect objects, you have seen them introduced by what, which performs a job in the noun clause itself, by that, which merely says a clause is coming, and by nothing at all. Okay, so diagram the following sentences and check your answers. Tell what noun job each noun clause is doing. So if we look, what you see is what you get. Just ask yourself. If you're still having difficulty identifying clauses, find the main verb first. What's the main verb? Is the main verb. Right? It's intransitive linking verb. That means we need a subject and a predicate. Where's the subject? What you see. Is what you get. That's our predicate. So look, we have a noun clause as a subject, noun clause as the predicate. The truth is that I am penniless. Where's the noun clause here? First ask yourself, where's the subject and where's the verb? Right? We have is, and we have a subject. Here, I'll make these back to the original colors. So the truth is the subject. Is the verb. Okay, then we have a predicate. That I am penniless. Now you know this is a noun clause. Why? Why do you know that this is a noun clause? You may look at it and say, well, wait a minute, there's a that. Isn't that a relative pronoun? No, it's not a relative pronoun. In fact, here's a test that you can do to realize that it's not a relative pronoun. Take that out of the sentence. Does it still make sense? The truth is, I am penniless. No problem. The that is unnecessary. Also, that I am penniless, what noun job does it have? It's after is. If it's after is, it has to be a predicate noun. So that I am penniless is a predicate noun. Let's look at number 3. The whole town is gossiping about what Nellie did. Okay, where is the noun clause? Well, we have the subject, the whole town, the verb, is gossiping. Okay, then about. What kind of word is about? It's a prepositional. It's a preposition. About what Nellie did. So the object of the preposition is what Nellie did. That's a noun clause. It has a subject and a verb. Nellie did, and then the what is our direct object. Okay. We gave no thought to where he went. Again, where's our noun clause? We is our subject. Gave is a verb. What did they give? Thought. They gave no thought, but the object is still thought. So the direct object is thought. Then we have to, preposition. What comes after to? Where he went. He went where? He is a subject. Went is the verb. Where, right? Can be modifying. So where he went. That's our object of the preposition for to. Okay, and so on and so forth. So you're going to finish 412. And now's the time to put it all together. Noun, adjective, and adverb clauses. These sentences will require you to use everything you've learned so far. If you can do this exercise and understand all of it, maybe a few mistakes here and there, then you understand noun clauses, adjective clauses, adverb clauses. What you should do, take the first 3 sentences, go through the first 3, diagram them, make sure you got them right. Then go to the back of the book, check your answers. Did you diagram it correctly? Okay, you messed up. Let's say while Rex was barking, you said that was an adjective clause. It's not, it's an adverb clause. So you say, okay, well, why? What did I get wrong here? Oh, I saw while and I thought it was a relative pronoun. So you go back and review what the relative pronouns are. And you review what a subordinating conjunction is, which is what while is. Okay, so you need to see what you got wrong, understand what you got wrong, right? I got this wrong. Why did I get this wrong? I need to go back to the part of the chapter that goes over it. Let me look at that. Once you've gone over it and you understand it, then you go on to the next 3. But let's say you don't understand it once you've looked at the chapter. Then you need to ask somebody for help. Okay. And that's how you do it, so that you become a self-learner, because this book has the answers, right? So you can check and make sure as you're going through to make sure you understand. And once we're done with noun clauses and adverb clauses and adjective clauses, we're done with dependent clauses and independent clauses. What we go to next, we got a nice little diagram here. What we go to next are the verbals, which are a lot of fun.